Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It is the same side that were 4-0 victors against Reading last time out in the WSL. Vivianne Miedema has continued her fine form in front of goal, 8 in her last 6 appearances for the club now. Well, Manchester City rocked by so many injuries, but they do at least have some good news on the fact that Alex Greenwood, who was forced off in England's midweek win, is able to start this one. And Caroline Weir is also back after her injury issues as well. Ruby Mace is on the bench. She is a former Arsenal player. Well, back in February, Manchester City became the first away side to beat Arsenal in more than a year. Looking to repeat the feat. Taib's come out here and has not dealt with that. And that is rifled in by Vivianne Miedema. Well, if there's one person that Manchester City did not want the ball to break to there, it was the Dutch international. Arsenal, not a side that need gifts, but that was one of them. Taib came out to do the best she could to try and limit the danger. And while she managed to block off Mead's path to goal, she had the awareness, Mead, to roll it in to Miedema, who you just felt was never going to miss that kind of opportunity. Well, just the start he was after. Now then, wriggling her way through is Little! How about that from Kim Little to give Arsenal a big lead early on? He certainly liked the look of that. Once again, Manchester City sluggish in their defending. Look at the gap there for Little, and then they don't deal with the danger. 3 players in and around Kim Little, but they couldn't nudge her off it, and she took full advantage. It is a ruthless finish. Well, it's been a sticky start to the season for Gareth Taylor's side. Weir used her body well there, but then unintentionally nutmegged her teammate Coombs. Little, I think that got a deflection, which made it tricky, very tricky in fact. Onto the bar and behind for a corner. Once again, City switching off in their own final third. Could have been costly here. There's no flag here, and here's McCabe. Might still break for her. McCabe! Game over now, surely. Katie McCabe makes it 3-0 Arsenal. Well, a long breaking pass. There was no flag there. At first glance, I'd say that Alana Kennedy was playing McCabe on, and the Irish international, at the second bite of the cherry, made no mistake. Absolutely rifled in. That's a nice flick. And White is in! Oh, off the bar. Arguably her first serious sight of goal. This was some pass to play her through, although I think the flag went up for offside. Now is Mead in here. Mead lays it off. Is that a penalty? It is. A chance for Arsenal to add further gloss to the scoreline. Alex Greenwood with the infringement. Little takes and scores. absolutely arrowed in from Kim Little, and Arsenal have been razor sharp against Manchester City this evening. Little. Well, they're queuing up in there, and it's a fifth. Well, finally some emotion from the head coach. A 5-star showing from the Gunners. Leah Williamson, who's having quite a September, puts the seal on the scoreline.
We saw in the games leading up to this that at some instances City have a pretty high defensive line and they get pretty exposed for that. And we have a lot of players with pace and good quality to play the ball in there, and we really took the opportunities to exploit that today.
We have our principles of play, which we will be loyal to. Mistakes are mistakes. You know, that has nothing to do with the way we look to play from the back. It's a tough one to take, and we're in a difficult moment, but we'll keep fighting.
No wonder Faye walked into the studio tonight with a big smile on her face, because Arsenal, what a start to the season it's been. They are rampant in front of goal. How impressed have you been with them overall, but particularly today?
Yeah, really impressed. I mean, we're used to Arsenal scoring goals, aren't we? But, you know, against the top teams, they've struggled in recent seasons. But, yeah, they've come on, scored so many goals already, been a lot more direct, I think. But, you know, players performing well and playing for the new manager.
Yeah, we'll look at that direct nature very shortly, but let's look at the opening 2 goals, because Arsenal were 2-0 up after 23 minutes in this one. As good as they were, though, did City kind of play into their hands a little bit?
Yeah, I think so. Sloppy there, a pass back, and Beth Mead was onto the ball really quickly. And once you give it to Miedema in that kind of position, she's not going to miss. But Lana Kennedy makes the mistake. She's trying to play it back to her goalkeeper. But Beth Mead's been on fire, isn't she? So sharp this season. And like I say, Miedema doesn't miss many chances in the box. And here it was just Kim Little snuck away really from a drop ball. She was in a space. I think Laura Coombs doesn't get goal side, isn't switched on, and then it just dinks off to her. She shows great strength in holding off the advancing defenders. But Kim Little again, that kind of quality from that range.
Yeah, brilliant performance from her. She actually got the player of the match, and understandably so. Now, we heard it there from Jonas Ideva, who talked about the fact he noticed and knew City were going to play a high line. And you said it, Arsenal were more direct, and we particularly saw that with the 3rd goal, didn't we? Yeah, we did. It's a great ball by Catley from right back, just, you know, route one almost. And we didn't see that much of them in previous season. And that's been my kind of negative about Arsenal against the Cities, the Chelseas. They haven't been able to switch it up and play different game. They always want to play out from the back and almost lose the ball in their final third to then concede possession and goals against the top teams. But here McCabe is playing higher up in the first instance this season. It's the first time that they've been able to play her up in that wing foot forward position. She's been playing, you know, left back a lot, and she can score goals like that. But yeah, to see them being able to mix up the game against the top teams is what I think has been the strength that Iverdale's brought into the team this season. What about for Manchester City then? Because we know about the injuries that they have got, but to lose 3 games in all competitions, back-to-back games now in the WSL, we can see this list here. They are missing some key players, but where does this leave them with their WSL title challenge?
Well, it's tough, isn't it? There's not many games, so you can't concede sloppy results, really, which I think the Spurs one was last week. This was always going to be a hard game, especially with those players out. You've got 2, you know, defenders out the back line. You've got your keeper missing. You've got your holding midfielder missing. They're key positions in games against, you know, Arsenal, Chelsea that will come up. That you want those players fit. Obviously, they've got a stronger depth to their team, but Georgia Stanway playing right back, it's not what you wanted. You saw her almost kind of caught out position, new partnership with Kennedy today at the back for that 3rd goal. So, yeah, it's a tough start for them.
Yeah, disappointing.